be looking into mods needed for this build, and I will go over. So, I give you the Archane Archer. Okay, starting off while we're loading in, the Archane Archer is a Bosmer. The reason the Bosmer makes a really good choice for this race, however, that's dwindled some, but not all the way. So, using enchanted weapons and arrows would be a nice middle ground for a wood elf that's out there trying to get really powerful. And I believe is the look I went for with my Archane Archer. Using the Paladin, Mercenary, and Ranger outfits from the mod shop. As far as equipment goes, he will be using enchanted weapons, and these particular weapons come from my recolor pack. This is actually Forest Dragon Bone equipment. And the only one that we'll really be using maybe is his sword. The bow that we're gonna make preferential use of will be Ruin's Edge from the Creation Club, along with the different elemental arrows. So you got your fire arrows, your ice arrows, and your lightning arrows. That's mainly the driving force combat-wise behind this mod. Alright, starting off. If you so wish, download a nice player home. I chose Chartreuse Pod Reverie for mine. Very wood elf, very rangery house to grab up. If you even look in the cabinets, while none of this is actually interactable, it's kind of cool to actually like see clothes hung up and stuff, and armors. Very nice. And you got all this nature and the waterfall within your house. I imagine a Bosmer would be very at home in this. You have an oven that you can make food in. Cooking pot. And an alchemy pot. But really, it looks like you just make a bunch of drugs in that one. You are greeted with the outside of your house, which just looks absolutely amazing. Like, this is one of the most beautiful homes in all of the mods I've come across. Over here is a little tree stand area for some crafting, and at the very top we're going to have a tree house that your companions can stay in. One of the things about this build, though, is if you're really trying to get into it, you might find that your ranger prefers not to deal with people a lot. He finds himself more of an animal person. So really, for me, this rarely gets used, because that's the logic I use behind my ranger's personality. You know, he does what he does because he doesn't quite fit into society. Alright. Moving on. We're gonna go show you some combat abilities, along with some perks. Actually, I'll show you the perks first. You're gonna need Realm of Lorcan to do an exact copy of the build that I have, because I have Boon Speed, which gives me a 31% reflect all physical damage on an attacker, 7% increased movement speed, increased stamina regeneration rate by 31%. Smart for a Archane Archer. Let's see. Boon of weapon speed, slow time by an additional 20% when aiming a bow, attack 10 times faster with bows and other weapons, 20% more damage with bows. Boon of the marksman, class archer, slow time by an additional 20% when aiming down a bow, 10%, okay, that's pretty much the same. Boon of the poisoner, increased number of strikes affected by a single poison application by 10. Voice of the sky, animals will neither attack nor flee from you. This doesn't extend to like trolls and extremely aggressive creatures like that, but like wolves and stuff like that, they won't attack you really unless they're like part of an enemy band, which most times they're not. Let's see if there's any other boons. That's about it. Okay, so you get those boons and blessings from the realm of Lorcan mod when doing an alternate start. Now, as far as combat goes, yeah, give me a second to find some good action, because I don't have Karthspire unlocked on this one. I can make it work over here. So as you probably guessed, your main mode of attack is going to be archery. I've also leveled up his sneak, so that way in stealth situations he can handle a sword more than well enough. But we will go over skills in that in just a moment. I kind of want to showcase the combat abilities of the Ranger. Forgive me if I pronounce this wrong. Hirsilia's Lodge. I'll show it at the end of the video. With that one, you can make totems that give you permanent animal companions. By permanent, I mean you can summon them, and if they die, you can summon them again. They end up under your powers. See, right now I have a wolf, so Wolf Call is mine. Oh, I already used that power once today. Bummer. Alright, well, anyway.
You win. I submit.
So as you can see, combat-wise, he's nothing to scoff at. Now let's see if I can go run into some regular wolves or something to demonstrate how they won't attack. Oh wow, I killed that thing still on its feet. It's not a glitch, it's a feature. and either a mod or the creation that gives you camping, because that is just going to make this feel so much more immersive. Arguably, the point of survival is the whole reason behind why you would play this class anyway. You know, it's all about survival. It's you and nature versus the world. That was weird. Those wolves just did something to each other, but they didn't do nothing to me. Kind of pisses me off because that was the wolves I was going to use for the demo too. Oh well. Alright, so I've showed you the combat, I've showed you the player home. Let's go over skills. You're probably going to want enchanting if you're going to make your own weapons, obviously. One-handed is a skill you're going to want to go with. Archery, light armor, sneak. Alchemy. Conjuration, possibly alteration, that's all up to you. I like alteration with my build. Smithing and light armor. I think I might have already said light armor though. And then sneak for that backstab damage. And yeah, I know my skills aren't quite as fleshed out as some of my other characters with this one. But I'm actually kind of playing him legit, because like I said, the whole thing with this build, with any ranger build, is survival. Okay? Alright. Next up, we are going to go over quest lines. As far as quest lines go, anything involving Hercene is great. Anything involving escorting somebody from one side of the map to another is great. That's pretty much what a ranger would be hired to do. Really, other than that, rangers pretty much tend to stay away from civilization. Like I said, they have their occupation that they have for a reason. They're more comfortable out in the wilderness than in a town. So, really, not many quests. Just get out there and survive. And as far as mods that make this build playable. Sorry about the load-in time, guys. But I'm kind of relying on this method as I don't have a capture card, so also my videos are never scripted. It's just me sitting here talking, you know, about my builds and my mods or whatever, as if you were sitting next to me here at home. So yeah, I'm just waiting for that to load in so that way I don't get mod names wrong or anything. I want to steer you guys in the right direction. Anyone watch it, if you skip to like the point where they load in, I don't blame you. Alrighty, Skyrim Special Edition patch. I will pitch this on every one of my videos. This is one of those mods that if you don't have it, you legit need it. You need it. Get that. Rebel Orchid, we discussed, is important for this mod because it gives you those boons, like the one where the wild enemies won't attack you and whatnot. Great to have. Alidin's Ultimate Armory also. I'm probably going to pitch this one every video because I use it for most builds. I'm not sure if I actually used it for this one or not, but the chances are I probably did, so I'm going to pitch that again. Fandarix's Magic World. I do have in my possession some spells from that mod for my character. Very, very good mod to have as well. Chartreuse Pod Reverie, if you want the home I was using at the beginning. It's gorgeous. It's made for a wood elf playing a build pretty much such as this. So why not, download you a nice little crib to go along with your build. That's what I always try to do with mine. Various dragons and various wild. Because you're going to be seeing a lot of... Well, actually, you could probably skip various dragons. You're not going to go with the Dragonborn questline. Unless you want to. So dragons are out. But various wild. You're going to be seeing a lot of creatures out there. So you might as well see a diverse array of creatures. Path Stalkers is that one that I was telling you about with Hyercella's Lodge? It's like they tried to make a female Hersing pronunciation and it's like all jacked up. But anyway, it's a great mod. Download that. Legendary creatures if you want to fight the giant wolf like I just fought. It's not really essential for this build, but if you want to, it's there. Better vanilla perks. Obviously, for some of the different things that my character can do. Basically, all my mods will run off of better vanilla perks. So, if you like what I'm doing, go ahead and download it. Bias tweaks for archery, because one of the changes it makes is it'll make an arrow fly pretty much directly where your reticle is. The only time that you have to aim up is if it's a ridiculously far amount of distance away. Then yeah, you're going to have to pull up on your bow a little bit. But for the most part, it makes your bow a lot more accurate. Why not get it? Also, infinite weapon charge. Use this one. Let's see. Can't find a mod author name, but it has like a little iron sword on it. It says infinite weapon charge. I've tried all the other weapon charge mods out there, and they all only halfway work, except this one. This is the real deal. It'll be about 88.31 kilobytes as well. Go with that one. The Paladin, Ranger, and Mercenary armor, obviously for my Ranger armor that I'm wearing around. Recolor Recraftable pack for that Forest Dragon's sword that I showed you. You're going to want these. You can also make some interesting armors as well with them and weapons. I recommend that pretty much for any of my playthroughs as well. Get the Creation Club, the unofficial Creation Club update for the Arcane Archer pack. It makes some very smart changes to how those arrows work. Get the Simple Ruins Edge Improvement mod. It improves Ruins Edge by giving it infinite charges. The nature of the enchantment ensures that this is not too overpowered, increasing its damage from 12 to 15, dwarven to glass, and fixing critical damage. Sweet and simple. Go with some environmental mods if you're going to play a Ranger. Like, I'm not going to go over them right now, but like, just make Skyrim look pretty if you're going to be a Ranger, because you're going to be spending a lot of time out in the wilderness and shit, so you might as well have a lot of beautiful scenery to look at. Abundant natural resources and logging Skyrim are also great because you can pick up things like hay from hay piles. With abundant natural resources, you can mine more rocks than you would have been able to. You can pick up firewood from firewood piles. Smart changes that make sense. Logging Skyrim, you can walk up to a tree and harvest it for a couple to a few pieces of wood once every 3 days. So obviously that's smart to have with survival in mind, those two. Ashura Skyrim characters for character creation, along with Bethesda beards. I think I used one of the Bethesda beards with this character. Skyrim Vanity Kit and Barbershop are also great, as well as human skin tones for all elves. And yeah, that's pretty much everything you're gonna need to make a Arcane Archer pretty much exactly like mine. One last disclaimer, and I'm sure I mentioned it throughout the video, but while it's fresh on everyone's mind since we went through the mods creations, you're going to want Ruins Edge. You're going to definitely want the Arcane Archery pack. There's only one you can get for this build. Get the Arcane Archery pack. You're going to want survival mode, and you're either going to want the mod version or the Creation Club version of camping. Okay? So that's about it. That wraps it up with the Arcane Archer. I hope you enjoyed this build, and if you liked it, please leave me a like and subscribe. If you don't like it, or you just want to further discuss it, leave me a comment, and I will see you next time on Lawless Gaming. Thank you, and good night.